Hi, my name's Graham Nelson and welcome to runfaster.com.au. I'm a physiotherapist and a keen runner, and I've been passionate about these two things for the last 18 years or so. Now, if you want to improve your running, run faster, or just enjoy running more, then you've really got to get your posture right first. And there are 5 key elements to good running posture. And this is really the foundation for good running. And we'll talk about those today. Now, the first key element is head straight, shoulders relaxed. Now, that might seem obvious to most people, but you'd be surprised how many people I see still running with a head down posture. So keeping your head up straight, your shoulders relaxed, relaxes all the muscles in your back, so you don't use unwanted energy in muscle tension. Now, if the muscles are more relaxed, you're going to run a little bit more efficiently. So I'll show you how that looks on the treadmill, and I'll also correct it, and you can see the difference. And you might want to notice also the sound on the treadmill if that changes, and you might notice some difference in the sound when I correct my posture. Okay, so the second key element in good running posture is elbows bent at between 90 and 60 degrees and moving straight in front of you. So some runners might have their arms bent at 90 degrees and keep them there, which is fine, and focus just on the forward-back movement. That's fine. You might notice when you start to increase your speed that you get a bit better forward propulsion by bending your elbows a little bit between 60 and 90 degrees. So keep your elbows going forward and back, and this propels you forward, keeps your momentum moving forward, as opposed to across your body, which is really a waste of energy, and you get too much rotational movement when you're running forward. So the third key element to good running posture is having a pelvis that's rotated forward slightly. Now, what I mean by that is just tilting forward slightly in the hips, which might just give you a forward lean from the ankle. Now, this is going to propel you forward, and it's going to give the powerful muscles of running, such as the glutes and hamstrings, a better position to work from, and that's going to propel you forward more efficiently. Okay? Now, the opposite to that is just a posterior tilt, and that shortens the hamstrings, it flattens the lower back out, and reduces your posture. So that's not very efficient in terms of forward propulsion. Now, I'll demonstrate what the two will look like on the treadmill, and you might notice when I'm in posterior tilt, I tend to heel strike more, and when I'm in anterior tilt with a bit of a lift, my heel strike is more on the middle of the foot. Okay, so the fourth key element is your foot strike. It's optimal to strike in the midfoot if you're a middle distance or a long distance runner, or even a recreational runner. Sprinters tend to strike on the forefoot, which propels them forward more, but it's more efficient for longer distances to strike in the midfoot. Heel strike, as opposed to that, tends to cause a braking action through the leg. Now, that loads up the ankle, the shin, the knee, and will increase the risk of injury. So optimal strike is midfoot strike, and I'll show you what that looks like. And this is probably the optimal position to land in, just on the middle of the foot, towards the ball of the foot, as opposed to the heel. So I'll show you what that looks like on the treadmill. And again, listen for the thud on the treadmill. You can definitely hear the difference when I'm heel striking compared to midfoot striking. So the last key element in good running posture is more about technique than posture. When you land, I'd like you to focus on pulling your foot back underneath you, almost like you're wiping some dirt off the bottom of your shoe, just like that. So as you land, you pull back quickly, and this engages the hamstring. And when the hamstrings are engaged, you're running more efficiently. This also tends to reduce the contact time with the ground. Now that's really important for running speed. If you reduce your contact time, even by a fraction of a second, and you run at a certain speed and your steps per minute are about 160 to 180 steps per minute, that's going to make a massive difference over the course of 10Ks or half a marathon or even a full marathon. So remember to strike in the midfoot and pull the leg back, pull your foot back as you're running to try and reduce contact time to the ground. So just to summarise the 5 key elements of good running posture again, the first one is head straight, shoulders relaxed. Number 2 is elbows bent at between 90 and 60 and going forward and back rather than across your body. Number 3 is pelvic tilt anterior rather than posterior. Number 4 is striking the midfoot as opposed to the heel. And number 5 is pull that foot underneath you, slide it back as you make contact with the ground. Now there's quite a few things to think about when you're running, and running is quite a natural movement. So probably the best way to integrate some of this stuff is maybe tape yourself while you're running, get a friend to tape you with an iPhone or something like that, and have a look at how you run and how you look. You might be surprised at what you find, and just start to integrate each of these key elements one step at a time. Now if you really want to improve your running and get faster, click on the link below. I hope you've enjoyed this. Happy running.